My parents were immigrants, so I'm first generation. First my grandfather came, then my grandmother came, and then my father came in 1899. My mother's parents never came to this country, but my mother came in 1903. They were all born in an area of Poland that was a part of the territory of Germany at that point, and they had migrated from somewhere in Germany. I think they met in Bristol, Connecticut, or Hartford. They were married in Bristol in 1907. My mother, of course, was a homemaker, and during strikes, periods of strike when my father was out of work, she would go to a shirt factory or do house cleaning for people, or she was very expert at baking, so she would bake bread and make donuts and sell those. My father was a fireman on the Reading Railroad, which was about a block away from our house, and he was very proud of that. I think that was a major achievement for an immigrant boy who really had no real education. I had 5 brothers and sisters. I'm the second born. In those days, choice number 1, of course, was to get married. And then choice number 2, 3, and 4 would be like to go into a convent if you were Catholic, to become a teacher if you could afford to go to normal school, or to become a nurse where they paid you. And when I was a student nurse, we got paid $5 a month for the first year, $10 a month the second year. And the third year we were supposed to get the magnificent sum of $20 a month. However, it was the Depression, so we didn't get anything. I went to Pottstown Hospital Training School. I went in 1928 and graduated in 1931. I really enjoyed training. There was always something new and fascinating. Medical science wasn't very far along at that point. There were no interns or residents at our hospital, and so the physicians tended to pick out bright nurses and lend us books, let us assist in surgery. I took out tonsils, I delivered babies. I did all sorts of things that student nurses now wouldn't get much of a chance to do. Then I studied at Bennington and got my baccalaureate in interpersonal psychology in 1943. Then the war came and I felt that I ought to serve my country. So then I joined the Army. And in August 1943 I went into the Army Nurse Corps. Second-borns are more people watchers than first-borns, for one thing. And we had a lot of very strange people in the general environment because in those days psychiatric casualties of one kind or another were not hospitalized. So when I was a child, they were on the streets. Not a lot of them, but there were some, and I wondered about them. I wrote the book in 1949 at Teachers College. And the first publisher, as you may probably have read somewhere, turned it down because no nurse should write a book of this kind. And if I would have a physician co-author it, he didn't have to do anything, just put his name on it. They'd be glad to publish it. And I said, no, we won't do it that way. So then I wasn't going to publish it. And then we had G.P. Putnam's sons had an interest in it. And then they established a nursing committee. And the nurses on that committee hemmed and hawed, and they said, take this out and put this in and change it here. And I said, no, we're not going to do that. So finally Putnam employed Genevieve Bixler, a non-nurse consultant, and she finally said, publish it. So the book came out in '52. Actually, it was ready to go in 1949.